Good morning, lovers of justice and supporters of freedom. We came this morning to remind you that Nnamdi Kanu will be appearing at the Federal High Court Abuja for the continuation of his self-determination trial with the Nigerian government. And before we forget, we want to let you know that everything Nnamdi Kanu warned Nigerians about over the past 10 years and which contributed to the Nigerian government's abduction and imprisoning of the IPOB leader are all manifesting right now. A warning Nigerians and the government should have worked on, but they said no, let's jail the messenger. Anyway, let us stay tight for today's court proceedings. So we're going to try our best, to give you guys updates on what is going on. So Nnamdi Kanu arrived at Abuja High Court today, and guess what? They have brought American observers. The president of America has actually sent observers today in court so that they are going to witness the Nnamdi Kanu's court trial. So these are the witnesses in court. You can see the white people who are in court today to witness Nnamdi Kanu's court trial. So let us take a look at what is going on in court today. Americans sent an observer to monitor Nnamdi Kanu's court proceedings today. So it says Nnamdi Kanu's self-determination court battle with Nigerian government is set as foreign observers are cited to observe and monitor the court proceedings. You can see that Donald Trump has sent observers from America to come and observe what is going to go on in court today. I think I actually love this that Donald Trump did by sending American observers, because they need to observe what is going on in court. They need to observe, is the trial or is this court trial of Nnamdi Kanu going on well? Are the judges judging it very well? Like, that is why they sent these American observers that I just showed you guys now. You can see from the picture, you can see the white woman who was seated as they are observing what is going on in court today. So let us take a look at what's going on. It says, following the Nnamdi Kanu's court update 18th June 2025, it says, following the rejection of previous tender documents by the court, he presents an order from NBC, and the prosecution said, can you identify this document? And the witness said, yes, NBC came over to examine the transmitter at the DSS headquarters after Nnamdi Kanu brought in the transmitter. Then the judge now said, does the defense team have anything to say with regards the document from NBC? And the defense said, we have no objection to the NBC report that the prosecution intends tendering to the court. The court admits the NBC report as an exhibit is admitted as an exhibit. The cross-examination now continued. Then it says, prosecution, can you please explain your role as a law enforcement officer? And the witness said, my role is to acquire information and report it to my director. Some of my responsibilities include raiding camps, and I saw human head, bodies, and Eastern Security Network eating human bodies. Like, this is what the witness was saying. They said the prosecution asking, can you please explain your role as a law enforcement officer? And this is what the witness is saying. The witness is saying that his role is to inquire information and report it to his director, and that some of my responsibilities include raiding camps. That all the camps, that since he started raiding camps, he has seen Eastern Security Network. Like, where he was raiding the camps of Eastern Security Network, he said he saw human head, bodies, and Eastern Security Network we are seeing eating human bodies. Like, did you see the lie that this witness is lying against the Eastern Security Network? So the prosecution now asks, do you the owner of the testimony presented before court last time? And the witness said, we have not found Uzoma, aka Onyami. If you guys can remember the last court case, like I told you guys in the last one, they said that the Onyami, that's aka Onyami, testified against Nnamdi Kanu. That Nnamdi Kanu told him to go and kill 2,000 people, but he killed 300. So now in court, the prosecution went on further, asking him, has he been able to find the person that's owner of the testimony presented before court the last time? And the witness said that they have not been able to find Uzoma, aka Onyami. So read on to the next thing here. It says that the transcription of cross-examination proceedings witness PW for DDD continued. So the prosecutioner asked, what do you have to say about the transmitter? Witness said, based on my physical observation, it is understood that the equipment was intended to be used for broadcasting. Also, before importing a transmitter into Nigeria, you must first obtain approval, but it was not obtained. The prosecutioner said, who is the owner of the transmitter? The witness said, I can confirm that the defendant is the owner of the transmitter. Go to Vanguard publication dated July 3rd, 2023. You will see the detailed news there. Now, this was when you can hear what the prosecution asked. He said, what do you have to say about the transmitter? And the witness said that based on his physical observation, that he has understood that the equipment was intended to be used for broadcasting. Also, before importing the transmitter, Nigeria must first obtain approval, but it wasn't obtained. Like, this is what he just said in today's court case. The witness said that based on his physical observation, that is understood that equipment that, according to him, he said that Nnamdi Kanu imported, that it was used for broadcasting. But in the last court case, the witness said that the transmitter is a weapon. That it was a weapon, that even saw AK-47. Now he's not saying, in today's court case, he's not saying that he understood that the equipment was used for broadcasting. Like I told you guys in the last court case, that he said that transmitter, what transmitter is made of is microphone. They have this microphone that they use for broadcasting in a studio that they can use for. That's what Nnamdi Kanu uses to broadcast his Radio Biafra news. So now, in the last court case, the witness said that what he saw in the transmitter was AK-47, he saw weapons. And now, in today's court case, the witness have now said that in his own observation, that he understood that the equipment was intended to be used for broadcasting. So he also said that, he also went on saying that before Nnamdi Kanu should have imported that transmitter, he should have first obtained that approval, but he did not obtain it. So, and the prosecutor went on further to asking, who is the owner of the transmitter? The witness said, I can confirm that the defendant is the owner of the transmitter. And he now dated where that he now went as far as saying, go to Vanguard publication dated July 3rd, 2023, you see the detailed news there. Now, I want us to actually judge this case. There was a time that Nnamdi Kanu warned us about Vanguard news. Yes, even his lawyer Aloye, and recently he was like talking about Vanguard publication, that Vanguard newspaper are always against Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know who is the owner of that I don't know who the owner of Vanguard, but Nnamdi Kanu have warned severally about Vanguard news. These people says fake things about Nnamdi. I don't know if I'm saying they are testifying against Nnamdi Kanu. For this witness to come out and tell us that we to tell the judge that they should go to Vanguard publication and check if it's there. This to show you that Vanguard is working against Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, even that there was a time that the Aloye Jimaka had to debunk. If you go to Aloye Jimaka's page, he had to debunk a news that Vanguard made against Nnamdi Kanu. Which they try to, Vanguard news is always against them. They try to use it to, make people to understand that, oh, Nnamdi Kanu is a bad person. Yes, that's what they try to do. So, you see, for the witness to come out and tell us that we should go to Vanguard news, it shows that for him to say go to Vanguard news, that Vanguard news have already published rubbish about Nnamdi Kanu, to be honest. So, reading down to what is going on in court, the prosecution now asks, if you see the Vanguard publication, would you recognize it? And the witness said, yes, I will. And the defense counsel objects the tendering of the newspaper publication. That the defense counsel now came out and objected the tendering of the newspaper publication. Then the presiding judge overrules the defense objection and marks the publication as exhibits. So reading on, just like I told you guys, they don't like, Nnamdi Kanu does not like Vanguard news at all. Even his lawyers, they don't like Vanguard. Vanguard news is just, they try to use Vanguard news to say things they're not supposed to say. Vanguard news is always against Nnamdi. If you check all everything they say about Nnamdi, if something happened now, something happened in court today now, Vanguard news will turn it upside down for you. They will turn it, they will write it in their own narrative, which will tell it as if they are against Nnamdi Kanu. So I'm reading now, it says transcription of cross-examination proceedings, witness PW4DDD continues. The prosecutioner asks, what do you think about the attack on the Owerri prison, and the witness said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu authorized the prison break. Prosecutioner said, "Can you please explain your role as a law enforcement officer?" And the witness said, "My responsibility is to gather information and report it to my boss. Some of my responsibilities include raiding camps, and I did raid Eastern Security Network camp. During one of my raids, I saw human heads, bodies, and Eastern Security Network eating human bodies." And the prosecution asked, "Were you able to locate Onyami?" And the witness said, "No, we've not found Uzoma, aka Onyami." Now, this is what the prosecution said. The prosecution asked him, what do you think about the attack on the Owerri prison? Because there was a time that Owerri prison had a break. There was a breakout in Owerri prison, and the witness said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu authorized the prison break. You see how the witness is lying against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu authorized the prison break, and the prosecutioner said that, "Can you please explain your role as a law enforcement officer?" And he said that his responsibility is to gather information and be given to his boss. And he said that some of his responsibilities include raiding camps, and he has raided Eastern Security Network camps before, and what he saw there was human heads, bodies, and Eastern Security Network were eating human bodies. You can imagine. And the prosecutioner went on further asking him, "Tell us, were you able to locate the so-called Onyami that you guys said in the last call that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told him to buy 3,000 and he buy 300, be 200 or 300?" And the witness said no, that they have not been able to find the Uzoma, aka Onyami. So, reading on to the next thing, he said, "The prosecution has moved to reading the presumed written statements of Uzoma Benjamin, aka Onyami, as written in the Vanguard publication." You see, hey, I told you guys that. You see, Vanguard. Tell me why they're not bringing other reports like Sahara reports, or like other reporters. Why is it always Vanguard? Why is it always Vanguard news? This is something we were supposed to ask ourselves. Why is it always Vanguard news that are bringing into court? Like, can't they say, okay, Sahara reporters said this, another report said this, to show that Vanguard news is always against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And I will keep saying it. You see that publication, they're always against Mazi Nnamdi. You can never see them publish any good thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done. Vanguard news is always against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, for them to even come out today and still be talking about, for them to come out in court and be saying, "Okay, let us read the statement of Uzoma Benjamin, aka Onyami, as written in the Vanguard publication." Why must it be Vanguard publication? Why must they read from Vanguard publication? Is what we should be asking ourselves. So he said that the prosecution has moved to reading the presumed written statement of Uzoma Benjamin, aka Onyami, as written in the Vanguard publication. In the publication, Onyami, the claimed IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, ordered him to kill 2,000 people through his superior, but he succeeded to take down 30, which he regretted. The prosecuting counsel is relying on Vanguard publication, not personal investigation, and the defense counsel did not object. Like, you imagine. I was saying it here to you guys. The prosecuting counsel is relying on Vanguard publication. Why are they relying on Vanguard publication? It's only Vanguard that is publishing news in Nigeria. It's only Vanguard. When I tell you that, it's Vanguard. Vanguard is working against them. Vanguard is working against IPOB. Vanguard is working against BFF. Vanguard is working against Eastern Security Network. You see, any information that is coming from Vanguard, any information you see coming from Vanguard just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just know that it's fake. Just know that everything they're saying there is fake. There was a time that Aloy Ejimeko made a statement about Vanguard. Yes, he made a statement. He was saying that there was a time that Aloy Ejimeko made a statement on Vanguard. Sorry, there was a time that Vanguard made a statement about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Aloy Ejimeko quickly went to debunk that news and tagged it as fake. That why would they be inciting the public with this kind of fake news? Why? Sometimes we ask ourselves, who is even the owner of Vanguard? Who is actually controlling that publication? Because these people are against IPOB by stake, and it's not a good thing to actually. It's not a good thing, because people sometimes get fake news and they incite people with the wrong things. So he says that the prosecution has moved to reading the presumed written statement of Uzoma Benjamin, aka Onyami, as written in the Vanguard publication. Then in the publication, Onyemina claimed IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ordered him to kill 2,000 people through his superior, but he succeeded to take down 30, which he regretted. The prosecuting counsel is relying on Vanguard publication, not personal investigation, and the defense counsel did not object. Like you can imagine what he said. He said that many people in the last court case, people were asking, if you said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu objected you to kill 2,000 people and you are able to kill 30 people and you're regretting. But in the first place, the first thing we should check is nobody puts a gun on your head and tell you you must kill 2,000 people. Nobody. As a full-grown man, you were able to do it. That was what many people were saying in the last court case. That a full-grown man, he was not under duress. As a full-grown man, he did it without pressure or anything. That means he knows what he did, and I hope he knows that this is actually a punishable thing. You killing 30 people and you regretted it. So reading on, the prosecuting counsel is relying on Vanguard publication, not personal investigation, and the defense team could not object. And they said that in the publication, Onyami claimed IPOB leader, that's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, ordered him to kill 2,000 people through his superior, but he succeeded to take down 30, which he regretted. Imagine what is going on in courts. Like, you guys can see that they are trying every possible means to say, oh, this is what happened, this is what, like, you can imagine. They're looking for every possible means, to say this is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got updates in details. Following the rejection of previous tender document by the court, he presents another from NBC. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now presented another one from NBC. You can imagine what is going on. So still waiting for updates from court. We're still waiting for updates from court. So let us actually take a look at what people we are currently saying about Bola Ahmed Tinubu now still calling for self-defense, because you know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was actually against self-defense the other time. He was saying that he's against self-defense, that because of that self-defense that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there was violence in Southeast because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was calling for self-defense. He said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is always calling for self-defense, and because of that self-defense, it caused a lot of violence in the Southeast. Now, that same Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not the one that is telling people to call for self-defense. And now, people are even saying that even the chief of defense staff, that's General Christopher Musa, was still calling for self-defense. And they should also understand, they should also remember that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called for self-defense in Nigeria, they said that he was the one inciting violence in the Southeast, that his self-defense is the one causing violence in the Southeast, and now that he's now a terrorist, they now tagged it as him being a terrorist because of the same time. They are not the one calling for self-defense. So imagine a whole chief of defense staff in Nigeria, General Chris, addressing his Benue killings, and what he could say that we should start calling for self-defense. You can imagine that they should not start calling for self-defense. The same people that say that self-defense is something that is causing violence in Nigeria, they're not still the same people that are calling for self-defense. I want you guys to actually listen to what Barrister Darlington have to say concerning that Benue killings that occurred. And now they're saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not calling for self-defense. Why, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was calling for self-defense, they said it was a criminal offense, and now they tagged him as a terrorist. Guys, take a look at this video, and I'll be right back for us to continue the cross-examination of what is going on in court today. So guys, take a look at
this. Leave the governor alone. He is powerless. He can't do anything. Tinubu should do his responsibility and stop shipping it to other people. When we came and Fubara, we are quarreling in river. Did anybody tell Tinubu to impose state of emergency? Why didn't Tinubu say, Fubara, okay, go and look into that matter? Settle it. Even when the man was trying to settle the matter, Tinubu wouldn't have it. Now look at what's going on in Benue. And he's now calling on the governor. Look at hypocrisy here. Moses, look at with all this performance of Tinubu, I can no longer believe that the federal government hand is not what's going on in Benue State, and in fact in all over the country. I am telling you, nobody can exonerate the federal government from Buhari to Tinubu. It's like there is something they entered into, and that it will not be far from bloodbath. How can the federal government just be looking? Don't terrorists from other countries, not even Nigerians, because they have confirmed that these people are not Nigerians. So, what is your own government doing, for God's sake? Barrister, those who didn't know what happened in 1967. Right. Look at it happen. Look at it now. Look at it. Stand out in the face.
Barrister, I like the fact that you mentioned Buhari in this thing.
So
practically, it's more like what started from the Buhari era is continuing.
I'm telling you, yes.
So there is no break. But let's go back to the purported statement put out by the president himself, because it's coming from an official bat, and it says, "I have been briefed on the senseless bloodletting in Benue State." And it goes on to say, enough is enough. Enough is enough means this is not the first time that the president is getting to hear about it.
You have said it several.
And he also says, I have directed the security agencies to act decisively, arrest perpetrators of this evil act on all sides of the conflict.
Good.
So the president clearly understands that there is an ongoing conflict based on the statement put out here, except of the statement. Barrister, does it look like the president is hamstrung and that he's buck passing? He's trying to scapegoat the governor.
No.
Does it look like, because if we understand that this thing started from the Buhari regime, and well, he said that he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped.
Exactly.
So does it look like his hands are tied? Because we see this thing happen from a particular group of people, and we all know what is going on now. They gang up against the president. Is he trying to play ball? Are we back to the Jonathan era and all of this? Barrister, can you help us untie some of these contradictions?
Yes, what I can read for what is going on is that there is a secrecy around this thing. This woman bloodbath, there is a secrecy around it. I don't know whether it is an oath or whatever that the government will allow the people to be slaughtered like this on several occasions, only for them to make statements. Can you compare what is going on in Benue and what happened in River that he imposed the state of emergency?
No, Barrister.
Those people that supported those state of emergency, where are they now? Where are they?
No, Barrister, I would like to get your opinion on this one. You know, we're talking about reconciliation on this state. What is even there to reconcile?
I wonder.
Nigeria as a nation, we have not have any reason to say that cattle rallying now is a major source of revenue generation in this country. We haven't heard anything about that, and we don't know whether is cattle rallying now a national business that now generates revenue for us, that we have to find a way to give lands to cattle rallying.
Remember,
what are we reconciling?
Please remember that Tinubu said he will settle this matter, and he created the cattle ranch or whatever. Even created a ministry headed by Jega. Is that not true? Please, my people, what happened to that ministry that Tinubu created? I told you here when he said that, I said, this thing will not resolve this matter, because that is not the core of the matter. There is something these people are looking for. It's not your ranch. I said it here, Because people will say, you don't only believe in Tinubu, you don't believe in AP, I know these people, what they are playing pranks with us. There is no sincerity in whatever they are doing. What happened to that thing that Tinubu created to settle this matter? He's not even talking about it again. And when he did that, I told everybody who cared to listen that this will not solve the problem. Tinubu and Buhari knows what they did. They know what they are doing. This bloodbath cannot be for nothing. They should explain to us why they should allow Nigerian blood to be wasted in this manner. They should tell us. Because I don't see why this should continue from where Buhari stopped to where Tinubu is now. Right. And you say you have a president who will always come and tell us, we have already stopped insecurity, we have depleted Boko Haram, this and that.
All right,
and you know, just lip service. Look, I have said it here. Anybody who didn't know what happened in 1967 that caused the war, look at it now.
Okay, Barrister.
Look at it. After all, Babangida said it in his book that when Gowon could not stop the killing of the Igbos, that was what caused the war, the Biafran war. Look at it happening again. Look at it happening again. Right, how can you continue to massacre people in this manner and you want them to fold their... The day these people rise up now, you will see. The narrative will change.
Let me bring it to you now, Mr. Akinfatinke. We learned that the persons who were protesting the killings in their state, the fact that their brothers, their sisters, their children, their wives are being killed, were being dispersed using tear gas and all that. And one of the reasons for that was that they told them that they should go back to their homes, that everything is under control, saying that the IG is now on top of this particular case, and the governor of the state, Alia himself, have provided the security personnel with all that they needed, including logistics and everything. Like my colleague Moses rightly pointed out, we learned also that the Chief of Army Staff said he's moving his base to Benue State to help end the issue of killings that is happening in that state. Now, the Pope have talked about this killing. Alias said it's more like genocide. Some persons also have come up to say that this is more like ethnic cleansing. Some people are trying to take over the land belonging to, Nigerians, and no one is doing anything or doing more enough to make sure it's being curbed. Nigeria is moving already to that particular position where everybody is scared of becoming a country of particular concern, CPC. If this actually happened, Mr. Akin, where are we going to find ourselves? Remember that we're still seeking for foreign direct investment and all that, especially in this present administration. It's also more of our mantra. Where then lies Nigeria in the international space?
I think it's a woeful outlook, no doubt about that. And like I said, complete failure of government. I will not box myself into limiting this to Buhari, Tinubu. I think it's gone beyond Buhari, Tinubu. We've had slaughters, we've had this in governments before, in regimes before these two gentlemen. It's not taking them out of it. I think I will always remember my history when I keep on saying that part of our problems is that we are different in all respects, and that we've not been able to resolve the leadership question. I remember Gumi, the father of the Gumi that we all know at this particular time, had vowed at one point in time through their quote-unquote jihadists that they were going to take the Quran from the Sahel in the north of Nigeria to dip it in the Atlantic Ocean. I am convinced that government, the people, terrorists, and that Nigeria is being invaded with a target in the Benue and Plateau, and perhaps will now extend to the rest of Nigeria.
Under whose watch? Obasanjo was in government between 1999 and 2007. Can you tell us, do you know the number of Nigerians that were slaughtered in cold blood?
Oh, no.
Under Buhari alone, the Punch newspaper in the editorial reported that 63,318 Nigerians were killed in the 8 years.
So what's your point?
So my point is that if you say that, look, that Gumi said that they were trying to dip the Quran into the ocean, at what point did this agenda manifest? Because we didn't clearly see it during the Obasanjo regime. We didn't see it under Yar'Adua. We didn't see it under Jonathan. Okay. When Jonathan made efforts to stop, we had the same people now say, look, you people are killing my people.
What I am saying,
okay,
and this is what I started by saying, that the present government led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed woefully. I'm sure you heard that. But don't ask me that, what do I think? And I said, look, I'm going to have to extend it. If you said you didn't see it during Obasanjo, yes, in this kind of quantum. If you said you didn't see it under Yar'Adua or Jonathan, under this kind of quantum, I am tracing back to tell you and to tell Nigeria by conviction that we are being attacked seriously, like we started then, and gruesomely now, because some terrorists have decided that they were going to try and seize land that does not belong to them.
Are we going to attribute this particular attack or this particular killings to the issue that we have, or to the fact that we have Muslim ticket? Recall that Obasanjo made a statement in 2022 saying there's a path, there is also a call for total Islamization of Nigeria as a nation. Is that where we are getting to at this point in time? Recall the Muslim ticket that also surfaced, and it happened at this point in time, and yet the killings also are happening, no one is saying anything about that. People are saying, don't point your finger to a particular ethnic group or a particular people, don't stereotype the killings, but we see it also play out and all that. Is that what we're getting to at this point in time?
What is happening is that you are shifting to even agree with some of the things I am saying in terms of my disagreement that it is the Muslim to get paid. No, it cannot be, because Muslims has also been slaughtered. Christians are being slaughtered. Those who are not aligned are being slaughtered. And I'm telling you, this problem goes a bit much deeper, and it is about land acquisition and about terrorists that our flanks are open. And this is where I will agree with Chukuma, that I know that during Buhari's regime, allegedly, we opened our flanks and people started using the words that our cousins in Futajalon and all that, which again does not help the issue. So I do not think, I'm not convinced that it has something to do with the Muslim ticket, because Muslims are being killed as much as Christians are being killed.
We are running out of time. During the Buhari regime, we had the impression that all the security architecture were, the head of all of them were domiciled in the north. You know, but now at least it's 50-50 more like the north and the south. So could you hazard a guess as to why the problem persists? Because the president was like, look, when I come in, I'm going to battle insecurity and all of that. And we have the National Security Advisor from the north, we have the Minister of Defense from the north, Minister of State for Defense from the north. But we have the Chief of Army Staff, who is from the west. We have the Chief of Navy Staff from the east, and all of that. So more like 50-50. So why is it that these problems persist? Does it look like there is a pact, like Barrister Darlington said? Is there a pact or what? Why is the president hamstrung? Does it look like there is something he cannot untie in this insecurity?
And I will just extend it further. Make all the security chiefs Christians. Make all of them Christians. This will not stop.
Why?
Wait. Make all the security chiefs Muslims. This will not stop. Why? Because we have a deep-rooted agenda that goes beyond you asking military to come into it. And he was talking about Aliyah being helpless. It goes beyond all that. The agenda to come and capture lands that do not belong to you, whether you set up livestock ministry or not, is constant. Finally, during Jonathan's time, to buttress what I'm trying to say, and hopefully we'll be able to rest you, during Jonathan's time, we had a military sir that was doing all the things that needed to be done, was going and then was decimating, was asked to stop by a southern president because of this deep-seated thing. We had issues that, who are we? Let's do a population census. We had somebody from a particular part of the south, he was making a lot of inroads. Certain people from other areas said, look, hey, Jonathan, you've got to remove this guy. So I am saying, the problems we have in Nigeria, we are different tribes, we are different tongues, the military has been decimated, take it or leave it. Carrot and kinetic is failed. We must get to the root of looking at it, and I've just told you that. Look, right now, the chief samurai on the desk now is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We must restructure Nigeria. We must face the fact that Nigeria is not working. Conglomerate, we are not working, and it does not matter who comes in to lead the country.
That sounds a lot like your concluding thoughts.
Yes.
President Tinubu, you tweeted when we had our Boko Haram problems, when Goodluck Jonathan was president, that the buck stops with the commander-in-chief. We are repeating your tweets to you today. What are you going to do about Benue? Over 200 people killed in that way and manner. People burned to death. I thought the other day the military said that they had deployed and now their theater of command will be at Benue to be able to forestall crises like this. So why do we still have crises like this? And for the security agents, I know you had to protect life and property, but disrupting the protesters for protesting peacefully about the killings of their people, is that the way to go? Do you think those protesters would just love to come out and protest if their people are safe and sound? The Pope made a prayer for Benue, and that beamed the searchlight of the world on Benue. A lot of killing, we've not sorted it out. I think we should focus on Benue. I think we should not remind President Tinubu to at least visit the people there and give them succor. I want to focus on Benue this morning because I don't want to focus on the aberration our politicians are doing, that they are more concerned about endorsements and coalition ticket between President Tinubu and Kashim Shettima when Benue is burning. Isn't it an indictment on our politicians that all they have constantly talked about this week is about endorsing President Tinubu for 2027? When Benue is burning, when there's rampant insecurity in the country, when the state of the economy is unpalatable, there's high level of inflation, there's pain and penury, when we demand accountability and we don't see it, when Nigerians ask why 39 billion will be spent to renovate an ICC, and all they'll tell us is that we don't have class and we don't have tastes. Yes, we don't have class, we don't have taste, we are poor. But at least show that we have decency to respond by giving us a proper breakdown of what the project cost entails. That's just all we want with accountability. So my focus is on Benue this morning. I don't want to spare my thought talking about politicking and politicians trying to think of the next election. When Benue is on fire, dreams will never come back, people will never come back home, people are dead and gone forever because their country failed them.
So, my people, to be honest, our country has really failed. So let us continue with Nnamdi Kanu's court trial. So it says the high drama unfolds at Nnamdi Kanu's trial as masked witness testified before U.S. observers. Just like I told you that Americans sent some observers today in court to go further to see how Nnamdi Kanu's trial is going to be. So the courtroom was tense and fully packed today, 18 June 2025, as the trial of Nnamdi Kanu resumed. Foreign observers, including senior officers from the U.S. National Center for State Courts, were present to monitor proceedings. All eyes were on the masked witness who continued his testimony under tight security. The session began with both the prosecuting and defense team introducing themselves. The presiding judge confirmed that the hearing would continue from where the cross-examination stopped during the last sitting, as witness 4 had not yet completed his testimony. The prosecuting counsel opened by asking, was Benjamin Madubugu detained in Abuja? And the masked witness 4 replied, yes, both Benjamin Madubugu and Nnamdi Kanu were taken to the DSS together, but Nnamdi Kanu admitted in front of us that he was the one in the video and cleared Benjamin of involvement. However, the judge firmly rejected some documents presented by the prosecution, stating angrily, these courts cannot rely on these exhibits. They were obtained unlawfully without allowing the defendant access to a lawyer during the interrogation. In response, the prosecutor tendered a different document from the National Broadcasting Commission, which is NBC. The prosecutor asked, can you identify those documents? And the witness 4 said, yes, it's from NBC. they came to inspect a transmitter Nnamdi Kanu brought to the DSS headquarters. And the judge now asked, does the defense have any objections? Defense counsel said no objection. The court admitted the NBC report as an official exhibit. The cross-examination then continued. The prosecutor now asked, what do you know about the transmitter? And the witness said that from what I saw, it was clear that it was meant for broadcasting, but bringing a transmitter into Nigeria without government approval is illegal, and no approval was obtained. Now, the witness is not saying that what he said in the last court is not what he's saying again. In the last court, he said that the transmitter was a weapon, that he saw AK-47 in it, he saw weapons inside it. Now, he's now said that from what he observed, maybe he has actually gone back to, think about what he said. Now, in today's court, he's saying that from what he observed, it was clear and it was meant that the transmitter was actually meant for broadcasting. But see where he's not trying to attack Nnamdi Kanu. He was not saying that for the fact that Nnamdi Kanu brought it into Nigeria without government approval, that is where it is illegal. And because of it, there was no approval, that Nnamdi Kanu does not have right to import it, and that there was no approval obtained, or in fact, because of that, it is illegal, Nnamdi Kanu bringing it without no approval. You can imagine. And the prosecutor asked him who owns the transmitter, and defendant said Nnamdi Kanu. And I went up further, asking them that they should go and check Vanguard newspaper, which was dated on 3rd July 2023. That if we go to Vanguard, we are going to see the details there, where they say Nnamdi Kanu brought in a transmitter. And now the prosecutor said, if I show you the publication, can you recognize it? And the witness said, yes, that if they show him the publication, that he can recognize where it was written in Vanguard. Now, though the defense team now objected to the Vanguard newspaper being admitted, the judge overruled and marked it as an official exhibit. And the prosecution then read an excerpt from the newspaper. It was a written statement suspectedly made by one Uzoma Benjamin, also known as Onyami. And in the article, he claimed that Nnamdi Kanu had ordered him to kill through his superior, to kill 2,000 people. He said he managed to kill 30, which he later regretted. And now it's important to note that the prosecution is using this as evidence based solely on a newspaper report, not through its own investigation. And the defense did not object it. The courtroom grew more intense as the prosecutor moved to the sensitive issue of the Owerri prison attack, which I told you guys of the Owerri prison attack. There was an Owerri prison break that happened in Owerri, if you guys can remember. So the prosecutor asked him, they started asking the witness what happened in Owerri, like the Owerri prison attack, and the prosecutor now said, what do you know about the attack on Owerri prison? And the witness for said it was ordered by Nnamdi Kanu. When asked to explain his own role as a security agent, witness for now responded. He now said, my duty is to collect intelligence and report to my superior. I also carry out raids. He said he also carried out raids, like he has raided Eastern Security Network camp, and when he raided it, he saw different things that he couldn't speak. He said he saw a human head, body parts, and members of the group were seen. He said they were seen eating human flesh. And now they asked him, okay, the prosecutor went on further, asked him, since you guys are saying that Onyami, that Nnamdi Kanu said that Onyami should kill 2,000 people, where have you guys seen Onyami to now? They went on further saying that they have not seen Onyami. You can imagine what is going on in court today. And because of the US people that were brought in court today, there was tight. There was tight security, that their focus was now they were all focusing on the witness for today. And I think, for me, I feel that something really happened in court today that is different from what happened in the last court case. Let me bring it to you guys so you guys understand. In the last court case, the witness for was using his whole chest to say that Nnamdi Kanu brought that the transmitter, what was inside the transmitter was AK-47. That was what he said. He was using his full chest to say it. But today that the US people came to court today, like I told you guys, US people came into court today, like observers that were sent from Donald Trump. They came into court today to observe how this Nnamdi Kanu's court case is going, if they are really saying the truth or they are not saying the truth. So if you notice, the witness for now said that he has now understood. He went on further saying that he now understood that the transmitter was actually used for broadcasting. But where his anger is that Nnamdi Kanu did not take approval before bringing the transmitter. But have you guys forgotten that in the last court case, he said that what he saw in the transmitter was AK-47. You can imagine. In the last one, he said he saw AK-47. He was saying it so that the judge will say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. Oh, finally, he has been caught with God. But in today's court case that they brought this US observers, he now changed it. that he has now understood and now observed that that Nnamdi Kanu was only using the transmitter for broadcast. But the way the problem is coming from now is that he did not take approval from them before bringing that. Normally, you're supposed to take approval before importing transmitter. This is to show you that they know what they are doing in court. When the US observer was not there, he was saying it with his full chest, like saying it that it with his full chest. When the US observers, people that were sent from America, were not there, he was saying it with his full chest that Nnamdi Kanu brought AK-47. Not that they have brought in US observers. He's not saying that it was not AK-47 again, that he saw. Now he's not saying that not that US observer is there. He's not saying that that he now understood that it was actually he not saying he actually understood that Nnamdi Kanu was using it for a broadcast. Imagine that he was not using it for a broadcast. So he has actually changed the narrative, which I told you guys that they know what they're doing. Once an external body comes inside the court, they try to make it look as if they're saying things in favor of Nnamdi Kanu, which that was not the same report he said the last time. The last time they told him that he was the witness for. This is the same person that was talking the last time. That's the same witness that said something the last time. Is the same witness that is testifying now. Yes, he's the same witness. So this is not just the continuation of what he's saying. They asked him. He said, "Hey, then we saw a lot of weapons. We saw AK-47. We saw bullets. We saw bomb inside the transmitter." That was what he said. But now he's saying that he now understood. Meaning that because he has seen like I told you guys in court that tension rose today in court. Yes, there were a lot of tension today in court because of the US observers. They were coming from outside country. They were not one, they were not two. They were many. The US observers were many that way. So because of the tension in court and the high security, he had to maintain. I said that what he now understood is that he has just understood that he was in it for a broadcasting. We were just in it to broadcast. But his own offense now is that Nnamdi Kanu did not collect approval before bringing it. Story has changed. Just this to show you that this to tell you the kind of country we are facing. So guys, we're still waiting for more updates on what is going on in court today. We are still waiting for more updates. So before we actually wait for them to let us know what is also going on in court, I want to actually tell you guys like what is going on. The thing that we've been seeing many people, the thing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have been lying against. So before we even take a look at what is the next thing that is going in court today, because we're still waiting for more updates from them, I want to remind you guys that there was something that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have been saying a very long time ago, that he doesn't like the fact. He said he doesn't like the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is calling for self-defense. That is what is causing violence in Nigeria. But of recently, we just heard that the chief of defense staff, that's Christopher Musa, has said that the people should start self-defense. So he went on for that, saying CDS Musa pushes community self-protection to end the Benue killings. These are the people that are saying that self-defense is wrong. Yes, they say self-determination. This country is funny, to be honest. They say self-determination is a crime. They said it. They say self-determination is a crime. That because of that, he's a terrorist. The same chief of defense is saying that we should do self-defense. Same as Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So this is what they said. He said the chief of defense staff, CDS, General Christopher Musa, has pushed forward the training of credible youths across Benue State as vigilantes working under the supervision of the military, as was done in Benue State, to defend local communities against terrorist attack. Meaning that the chief of defense staff has now said that has started organizing group of young youths in Benue State to act as vigilantes in order for self-defense. The same self-defense that the Nnamdi Kanu was seen doing, they said that, oh, this is a crime. That's why is he calling for self-defense? He's inciting violence in Southeast. It's not the self-defense that we are not saying that. He's not saying that people should start doing self-defense. What a country. He's not saying that everybody should start doing self-defense. So let me not read it say. So I will not say call for self-defense with weapons. Then I say in a video clip, Kanu was reported to have urged his followers to procure guns and bullets for self-defense, specifically referencing threats from Boko Haram and labeling Fulani terrorists and labeling Fulani headers as terrorists. The exact statement was not fully quoted, but he was described as saying followers should arm themselves for self-defense against these threats. Now, this was what they said. They said that in a video clip, they were saying that Kanu was reported to urge his followers to carry guns for self-defense against Boko Haram and Fulani headers. Now, the same people who are saying that what he did is a criminal offense, in fact, they tagged him as being a terrorist for telling his followers to carry guns to defend themselves. Yes, they even in this his court case, they've been talking about the fact that Nnamdi Kanu was telling people to defend. They went on further talking about what happened in the NSAS protest. The Nnamdi Kanu made it clear to them that I told people during the NSAS protest to defend themselves because I found out that they were killing our people, and he said all I did was tell them to defend themselves. That was all. That he didn't like the fact that his people were killed during the NSAS protest. And these people now said that, oh, Nnamdi Kanu is inciting violence. He's saying people should carry guns and defend themselves. Which they tagged it as, they put it in one of his charges. And they said that he's a terrorist. This is one of his criminal charges. Imagine. Now, today, the chief of defense staff is still saying that people should start doing the self-defense. That he has to even start organizing group of people in Benue State, that's group of youth in Benue State to defend themselves. Imagine. You can imagine what is going on. And there are the same people that are saying that self-defense is bad. I told you that this country is finished. Yeah, like, to be honest, this country is really finished. So let us actually take a look at what. So in response to a caller from Aba, in an audio clip admitted as evidence, a caller from Aba said they are coming to kill us with immunity and they are killing us right now. And Kalu responded, anything you have as weapon, use it and kill them. Attack them, the evil must. That was the statement. You see, so that was the statement. Now they were saying that Nnamdi Kanu is inciting violence in the South, and Nnamdi Kanu told them in court that I'm only telling my people to defend themselves. I don't like the fact that they're killing my people. That was what Nnamdi Kanu said. They went as far as even playing an audio clip of where Nnamdi Kanu said it. Now, in the audio clip admitted as evidence, a caller from Abana said that they are coming to kill us with immunity. They are killing us right now. That was what the caller was telling Nnamdi Kanu. And the Kanu now responded to the person. He now told the person, anything you have as a weapon. He didn't say carry gun. He said anything you have. Weapon can be stick. Weapon can be stone. He said anything you have as a weapon, use it and kill them. Attack them. This evil must stop. That was what the statement said. And the statement was cut off in the report. Now, he never said carry gun. He said anything you have. Defend yourself. Self-defense is not bad. Yes, self-defense is not bad. I've seen several cases that they were brought in court. They say, oh, what happened to this young man? Oh, the girl killed him because he tried to rape him. That is self-defense. That is self-defense. It's just like anywhere you see yourself maybe in danger. You cannot wait for the person to overpower. You have to overpower the person first, especially when you know, oh, this person wants to harm you. That is only when you are aware that the person wants to harm you. And you don't have intention of harming the person. You have to defend yourself first. That is what they call self-defense, and that's what happened. This Aba caller called Nnamdi Kanu and told Nnamdi, oh, these people are coming to buy you also. They're coming to kill us. And Nnamdi Kanu said, okay, what you guys have to do? Any weapon you have, use it and defend yourself. Attack them first before they attack you. That was just a statement that Nnamdi Kanu said, and they took it as Nnamdi Kanu is inciting violence in Nigeria. Now, the same people that saying that self-defense is bad, they went on to charge him that because of this particular statement he made. The people that are saying that self-defense is bad are still the same people today that are saying that they should call for self-defense in various states. To the extent that the chief of defense is now preparing youths in Benue State to gang up and become vigilantes and to defend themselves. And now that vigilante now, unfortunately, they also give them guns to defend themselves. Yes, or give them machete or cutlass. That's what we call self-defense. So to show that Nigeria don't know what self-defense is, they're just coming out to say that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist because he's calling for self-defense. They don't know what self-defense is all about. I don't know if I would say that the people in this country did not, the people in those countries, their leaders don't have knowledge to understand. Will I even say they didn't go to school? They don't understand at all. Like, I don't even know how can they say that self-defense is a criminal offense? How can they say such a thing? When today they are being the ones now calling for self-defense. Imagine what kind of a country is this? They're not the people calling for self-defense into today. So it's the constitution. It said the Nigerian government has argued in cases like Nnamdi Kanu that calls for self-defense, particularly when tied to forming armed groups like the Eastern Security Network, that's ECA, should be interpreted as inciting violence or threatening public order, which may violate laws against treason, terrorism, or public disturbance under the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 or other statutes. The legality hingers on whether the actions or statements exceed the reasonable self-defense and are deemed to promote unlawful violence or destabilize the state. Now, the Nigerian government made it as if Nnamdi Kanu's case, that Nnamdi Kanu is always calling for self-defense. So they see it as the way he formed Eastern Security Network, and they now interpreted it as inciting violence. Now, Nnamdi Kanu made it clear to them in court that Eastern Security Network is a group. It's just a group that is saying protecting our mothers who go to farm. So we can also say it is self-defense. Yes. We can also say, we're going to say, this is self-defense. But now the Nigerian government sees it as terrorism, that he went as far as forming a group. Because of they said that Nnamdi Kanu that is calling for self-defense is always forming groups like Eastern Security Network in order to cause violence and threaten the public, which violates the law, and say that the law is which may violate laws against terrorism and treason. You can imagine. And today, our Chief of Defense Staff, Musa and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is telling the public to call for self-defense. You can imagine what is going on in Nigeria. It's so bad that this kind of thing is happening. That the people who are saying that this is not good are still the same people that are doing it. So that means they don't have a case against Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, they don't have a case against the man. If they can say that that the fact that he's calling for self-defense is a crime, so why are they telling the Benue? Why are they calling for self-defense in Benue State today? Why are they calling for self-defense? So guys, I want you guys to actually take a look at what Nnamdi Kanu had to say. He has been warning us for a very long time. Nnamdi Kanu lectured us on the difference between a country and a nation. He said that Nigeria is a country and not a nation. He explained this in detail and also lectured us how culture defines and unites Igbo, and why Biafra is called a motherland and not a fatherland, and how our women are culturally tied to pieces of wrapper, and that really defines who we are. He also went on further telling us about these Fulani headers. He warned the Yorubas, warned the Fulani people about Fulani terrorists. He warned them a very long time ago. Now, everything he played, everything he said in his broadcast, everything he played in his broadcast is now what is coming to pass. Yes, we are not seeing it in day by day, and people are not crying. Many people are not crying. Now, if they had listened to what Nnamdi Kanu told them, all these things will not be happening. They warned us about the Fulani headers. Now, the Fulani people, their plan now is to take over Nigeria. Because if you take a look at what is going on in Benue State now, they have taken over Benue State, just as the way they have taken over Plateau State. So, guys, I want you guys to actually listen to what Nnamdi Kanu have to say about this Fulani terrorists, and I'll be right back, as well as we'll continue our cross-examination as we wait for other updates in court today. So, guys, take a look at this video, and we'll be right back to continue the cross-examination. Let's wait for the updates in court.
Fulani can control you however they like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want Tinubu as the president. And you are all dying every blessed day. You are all dying every day. Had you people risen up to say that what is happening in Nigeria is bad, there is no way that Fashoranti's daughter will not be alive today. That is the price you pay for duplicity. That is the price you pay for treachery. That is the price you will continue to pay until you rise up and say, enough is enough. It is up to you to do it. You did it during NSAS. You can do it again. Can you imagine Fulani people telling you, if you remove Fulanis from Yoruba forest, imagine Fulani telling you, if you remove them from your ancestral lands, there will be war, and you are panicking. And you have not asked yourself, why are they not saying something about the East? Why did they not say to Eastern Security Network? Why did they not say to me, if you don't stop evacuating Fulani terrorists from the forest, there will be war? Because they know, they understand psychologically that you don't have what it takes to resist them. Do you know why Borno State is still alive? Why you still have the Kanuri people in Borno today? Was because they resisted the Fulani centuries ago. You have to go back to history to understand how Nigeria came into existence. Fulani has been expanding from day one, from Senegambia. All the way from Senegambia, they've been expanding, and now they are in Okigwe. All the way from Senegambia. They are now in Okigwe. And you're asking us to somehow fold our hands and keep quiet because of 2023, because one idiot is going to come out to become a president, because of that rubbish, because of that nonsensical notion, we should fold our hands and wait until we are overrun by the Janjaweed from the Sahel. Is that how reasonable people think? Is that how people that wish to survive as a race, is that how they reason? It is very, very shocking that some of you do not understand what the Fulanis have in store for you. Very, very soon it is going to happen. And when it happens, your eyes will clear. And about whom you will see it very clearly. I was warning you. In 2014, 2015, 2016, they said he's a warmonger. He's a warmongering. I went to America and I told World Igbo Congress that this war you are avoiding is going to come to your villages. They said, no, it's not going to happen. What is happening today? When Yoruba was supporting the dead idiot called Buhari, did I not warn them that this evil you're supporting will consume you? They never listened. They never wanted to listen. IPOB is a terrorist group. You're trying to divide Nigeria. But Mietiana is not. People that you are calling bandits, have you heard anybody come out to say, please Buhari, since presidency is there defending terrorists in the forest, why don't you proscribe them? No, you cannot proscribe a Fulani group. Never. And all of you, we are supporting evil. When there is the proscribed IPOB, proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. These are Yoruba journalists writing junk. Every day they keep writing rubbish. But their land is under siege. Their land is under siege. And the Fulani will take it. It doesn't take time. So I am here today to encourage them that they must stand tall and be very strong, resolute. That is what Fulani does. They control the media. They have well-paid consultants all over the world doing their bidding for them. They have that woman at UN trying to lobby the world that everything is okay in the zoo called Nigeria. But you and I know that the zoo is not okay. You and I know the game plan of the Fulani. And what are you doing about it? Nothing. Every day you read, you lament, you complain. Every day you read, you lament. And that's all you do. That is all you do. You read, you lament, you complain. You do nothing about it. Your lives are being taken away from you. Your forests are being occupied. Your mothers are being raped. Your daughters are being abducted. And the whole national government, presidency, is supporting such people. And you're telling me that Nigeria is viably sustainable. Is that what you're telling me? That somehow this contraption is sustainable, it is viable. It can never be. Because the more you stay in one Nigeria, the more you are inviting the Fulanis to take over your ancestral lands, take over your villages, and to make life a misery for you. That is the end game. That is the outcome. If you doubt me, go and do a bit of research. Ask yourself, who are the Hausa people? Who are the Nupe people? Who are the Bachama people? All of these people were steamrolled by the Fulani march to the Atlantic Ocean. And now they're in Yoruba land. They're in their forests. They are in their forests. And who is going to drive them away from there? It's not the Yoruba youths. Forget about your useless governors. Your elders are very strong. I love Yoruba elders. The way they behave, the way they talk. Very, very strong. They say they support Akeredolu. This is the governor of Ondo State. They support him in what he's doing. People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kanu, are they living of course it's Hausa land, are they living in the forest? They came to the town, they work very hard, they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. I want some of you who have had your breakfast this morning, please go to your fridge or go to where you keep your beef veggies and you will see pig milk. Pig. Some of us were raised on pig milk. For how many years now? And you keep asking yourself, what is pig milk? Pig milk is mineral. The same milk that the cows produce in Holland can be produced in the zoo. Tell me the country in the world aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century moving cattle from place to place. Tell me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. All of you don't have any shame. When you have people, an entire presidency coming out to defend a very primitive, archaic agricultural practice, then you know you embrace serious mess. You are in one almighty trouble, I'm telling you. People are in a mess. The Holland that you get your pig milk from, do they move cattle from Rotterdam to Amsterdam? I'm asking you a simple question. But they produce the pig milk that you're drinking every blessed day. Why can't Fulani produce pig milk in Sokoto? Why can't they produce carnation milk in Kanu? They have the cattle. Before the white man came, did you see any Fulani in your forest? All these people talking rubbish about movement of cattle and movement of... I'm asking you, before Britain came and handed over Nigeria to Fulani, ask your grandfathers, please, or your grandmothers. Ask them. All this nonsense we are hearing today in this so-called one, I want to tell you the dangers of one Nigeria. All this nonsense you're hearing today about one Nigeria, Fulani in our forest, Fulani in our village. Before the white man came, did you see Fulani moving their cattle all over the place? Did we not have meat to eat? They will answer these questions for you. Because sometimes in Africa we don't reason very well. The way we reason is jaundiced, it is disjointed. I can't understand for the life of me why instead of them to waste all that money arming and equipping this Janjaweed army Mihetiala to come and conquer you and I, why don't they open a milk factory somewhere in the north and bring the milk down south? I'm sure Southerners will buy it. After all, pig milk comes all the way from Holland. Pig milk all the way from Holland. Now you understand it. Because of the way you people reason. Why can't you produce? Is it difficult to produce milk? The same milk that comes out naturally from the udder of the cow. Why can't you put it, can it somewhere, pasteurize it, and send it to people to eat, to drink, or to do whatever with? All over the world, that is what is happening. In fact, they produce so much milk in Europe that they pour it away. Why can't you do the same thing? A whole president claiming they are in the 21st century are supporting a very primitive practice of moving cattle from place to place. All of you, you're not ashamed of yourselves. You have no shame. As somebody will say, your shame is shaming me. I'm telling you, you people from the zoo, I'm ashamed of your ignorance and stupidity. You people are hopeless, completely hopeless. One day now, one idiot to come and say, we are intellectuals. And you're moving cattle from Kafanchan to Ahoda. You are intellectuals. You are intellectualizing. You are in the 21st century, you are moving cattle, driving cattle, Nama, from over 3.
During the war, part of the things the Gowon did to cause more death in the Igbo land was to take all the money deposited in the bank by the Igbos, all our money, and gave us only 20 pounds. Whether you have 200,000 pounds or 200 million, or the federal government of Nigeria took it away, as long as it is owned by the Igbo man. He took them away and was using that money to fight us. What does that tell you? If it were today's world, what they did in the South was genocide. It wasn't a war. Because The Biafran soldiers were giving them hell at the battleground. Instead of them to battle them, they went after the civilians, innocent civilians, women and children. That was why the casualty was so high on Igbo land. They left the real soldiers who were fighting them in the bush because they couldn't match the Biafran soldiers. They now vent their anger on innocent Igbo civilians, women and children. That was why there was very casualty.
In the course of a war, is that acceptable? Even though we know that they said all is fair in war, but no, is that action acceptable?
That's why we are complaining. Yes, that's why we are. It's not fair. Under the Geneva Convention, you are not supposed to do that. Okay. Go and look at the recorded history of what happened. Women and children who were hiding in a church in somewhere in Onitsha, they slaughtered all of them. Frederick Forsyth said at least over 300 people that he saw.
The Nigerian military did that.
Yes, slaughtered all of them. And even Benjamin Adekunle, the Black Scorpion, he was boasting on how he was cutting down women and children in Igbo land. He was boasting of it. No, is that what you call a war? You are fighting armless women and children.
So, Barrister, why didn't that reintegration process and re-radicalization process
it's going on with terrorists
in Nigeria?
Yes, exactly.
It's happening with Boko Haram terrorists. They are de-radicalizing them, disarming them, and reintegrating them back into the society. And we've seen in all history of wars, like Rwandan genocide, like I cited, there was that program. It took place for peace and unity to be able to reign. Looks like it's some kind of closure for the people who suffered in that crisis. Why didn't that happen in Nigeria?
No, you should be asking Gowon, because he was in a position to do that, but he did not. He did not. So what is he telling me now? This is a man who would have taken care to heal the wounds, but he did not. Now he's telling us it was necessary. It was not necessary. On what ground? Who started that war?
Okay.
In the first place? Who started that war?
Okay, if the former head of state, Gowon, didn't do that, the heads of state before him, after him, I mean, why didn't anybody, even in democratic system, when former President Olusegun Obasanjo came in 1999, Jonathan was there, Buhari was there, even the current president now, why haven't any head of state or any president taken any action for that?
Because of what? Propaganda, disinformation. Promise, since that war happened, it had been recorded through propaganda that the Igbos started a civil war, that we wanted to disintegrate Nigeria.
Until IBB's
good, until IBB wrote a book. You can see what we're talking about. So shame is on them now, including Gowon. This thing you are telling me now, Gowon have not deemed it fit to discuss what is going on in Plateau and Benue as of today. His own state, Plateau. He has not told us what happened. Why are they killing them in that state now? His own state, oh. He has never opened his mouth to utter a word about that killing going on there. This was exactly what they were doing to the Igbos that time until the Igbos reacted. This thing that's going on in Plateau, is it not enough to cause war? Tell me, is it not enough to cause war? This is exactly what happened in 1967 when they were killing the Igbos all over the place.
When lives are being threatened.
Perish. And you kept quiet, and you expect them to keep quiet. That was exactly what happened. Exactly what, this is the same modus operandi. But because these people have tolerated, either they don't have the liver to fight or whatever.
All right, Barrister, let's move on to other stories.
So I thank God it's happening under Gowon's nose. I expected him to talk about it.
He's from Plateau State.
I said I expected him to talk about it.
A lot of Plateau citizens have.
So guys, you guys have listened to what this President is talking about, the things ongoing in Nigeria. Now, to be honest, I will tell you guys that the court does not have any case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because literally everything that like the freedom agitators we know, like Sunday Boha and Shewore, there's no difference between what they have done and what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. So they don't have actually any case against him. Okay, if they're talking about self-defense, the chief of defense staff and Bola Ahmed Tinubu just called for self-defense in Benue recently, thereby mobilizing youth and telling them that they have to create a vigilante group in order to be fighting them. So this is actually what we see. So if they say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did any wrong, I don't see any wrong in anything he said. To be honest, I don't see any wrong. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share, and turn on the notification button to get all the latest news in this channel. As well as Nnamdi Kanu will still be coming to court on the 19th June 2025. And in my next live video, I'll be telling you guys the summary of everything that happened in the court. So, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.